Begin recording, I think. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Glad you could join us. Good morning. Everyone's going to need a strap. There's some extra blocks up here if you get a block. Good morning, welcome. Mentioning if you could grab a strap on your way by. Well, good morning. If you'd like to grab a strap out of the strap bag, that'd be great. Maybe a block. Settling in to a comfortable seated position with your legs crossed or out in front of you, whatever's comfortable for you. You can be laying down. We're going to have a real slow, gentle practice today. We're going to hold our postures for a little bit longer, focus on our breath. I've been reading about breath work, and so I want to really, I found out myself last week when I was trying to do these videos that I wasn't breathing. And I actually hurt myself, because I was trying to go into yoga poses too quickly without breathing and transitioning properly, and realized it was because I wasn't breathing, because I was talking. So I'm going to talk less, and we'll hold our postures for longer and breathe. Let me pray for us this morning. And also before everybody leaves at the end, I'd like to pray for one of our members who just lost her mother. So we'll do that when we're through. But right now, Father God, I ask you to meet us here on our mats. Do what you would do with us, your way, your timing, with your love and grace and mercy. And we ask this in Jesus' precious name. The reading this morning, again, is from Sarah Young. This one's out of Dear Jesus, Seeking His Light in Your Life. And it's not any particular date. This is just the reading for today. It begins, and this was for me in particular, so I'm going to be a little bit transparent this morning. It begins, my power flows most freely into weak ones, aware of their need for me. Faltering steps of dependence are not a lack of faith, they are links to my presence. And there's a short prayer here. It says, Dear Jesus, my journey is indeed one of faltering steps. And I don't know about any of you, but my steps sure do feel faltering today. Today I feel as if it's a challenge just to take the next step. That's where I was this morning. Next step. I find it all too easy to be aware of my neediness. If I didn't know that you were with me, I would despair. I confess that sometimes I get discouraged about my ongoing weaknesses. I know that dependence on you brings spiritual blessings, yet at times I feel trapped by my limitations. So that was my prayer this morning, a prayer from this book. And again, I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but sometimes I do get discouraged about my ongoing neediness and my ongoing weaknesses. I just wish I would be delivered. But this is back, again, this is in the first person, as if Jesus were talking to me and to you. Beloved, awareness of your need for me creates a strong connection to my presence. My power flows into you continually. It gives you strength to take the next faltering step, strength to resist discouragement and despair, strength to know me in intimate dependence. Only my power can provide such strength, enabling you to live abundantly in the midst of your limitations. Your day-to-day perseverance, independence on me. Oops, sorry about that. Independence on me is every bit as supernatural as an outright miracle. And I love that. Your day-to-day perseverance, independence on me is every bit as supernatural as an outright miracle. And so I don't know if anyone else needed that, but I needed that this morning. So I'm just going to keep stepping along with Jesus. All right, let's go ahead and begin to lengthen up through our spines, as if someone were pulling the top of your head with a string. So nice long spine. Sits bones are rooted down on the mat. Shoulders are back and down, relaxed. Chin's parallel to the floor. And begin to notice and deepen your breath. So I'd like you to take and put your hands on your lower belly. Excuse me. inhale, the idea is to expand your belly. So rather than it sucking in, you're inflating it like a balloon. So inhale and feel that expansion all the way across your belly. And then as you exhale, the air goes out and your belly shrinks in. It's almost as if your navel were tucking into your spine. So let's go ahead and do some breath cycles with that breathing pattern of inhaling real deeply and fully. Maybe for a count of 3 or a count of 4. And just notice. A lot of us tend to be upper chest breathers. And as we inhale, our chest will expand. We can feel our chest expanding and it never reaches our belly. So try to send that air all the way down into your belly. That's the way we were designed to breathe, actually. In circumstances in our life, the way we sit, keep that breath shallow. And also, if we don't get rid of all the air that's in our lungs, if we don't force it out all the way through our diaphragm, stale air remains in there. So again, inhale nice and deep all the way down in your abdomen. And exhale. Push all that air out. Also what that does is that diaphragm muscle wraps around our torso here. And so when we're breathing properly, it massages our heart, it massages all of our internal organs, it helps our digestion, and it's a learned breathing pattern. We've learned and had wrong breathing patterns probably for most of our lives. And so when we become aware of it, it almost seems like it's a chore to try to breathe properly, but as with anything else, it's a practice and it's a pattern and we learn it. And it's good for us. It's ultimately the most beneficial way that we can breathe. It's the way God designed your body. So, again, nice deep inhales. You can exhale audibly through your mouth if you'd like. Continue to exhale, or rather lengthen up through your spine. Don't forget about your length as you're breathing. And I encourage you to begin to practice that throughout your day. Practice that deep, deep breathing. You'll catch yourself breathing just through your upper chest. Okay, go ahead and inhale your right arm up over your head and place it behind your right hip. And just gaze over your right shoulder. Gentle twist. So you're still lengthening. Just your upper torso is twisting around, looking over your right shoulder. Continue to breathe deep into your abdomen. Center. Inhale your left arm overhead, back behind your left hip. Gaze over your left shoulder. Just a real gentle twist. To center and work your way into the table. I read something interesting about table and the cat and the cow, and I'll share it with you in a moment. So let's go ahead and make sure we're stacked properly. Our knees are below our hips. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in line. Nice flat back. On your inhale, go ahead and lift your head, lift your tail, as if you were mooing like a cow. I thought that was really interesting. So like a cow would moo like that. So then exhale, round and tuck. Inhale, head comes up, tail comes up, stomach drops. Exhale, round breath cycle. If it feels better to hold one posture, you can go ahead and hold the posture. Don't hold your breath. So, for instance, I'm rounded in the cow or cat right now, and I'm breathing still. And just return to normal breathing, cat and cow. Warming up our spines. Back to neutral, and extend your right leg back so you're on your toes, your heels pressing towards the back of the room. Your hips are still level to your mat, so you're not following your leg back with either one of your hips. Your hips are still level. And then raise that leg up, toes are pointed down, and then come back, touch the mat. One more time, up, and continue to breathe. Come back down, and bring that knee back to neutral. Let's do the other leg. So left leg comes back. Check your hips. Leg comes up, toes pointed down. Touch your toes down. Inhale that leg back up. Touch your toes back down. Come back to neutral. Okay, check your posture. Make sure your elbows and wrists are still stacked. Okay, this time right leg comes back. Heel comes up. And your left arm comes out. So a little bit of a balance here. Keep breathing. Your gaze can be over your fingertips or at the front of your mat. Take several breaths right here. Balance. Zip up that core. And breathe. Maybe smile. Back down, knee comes down, and switch. So left leg comes back, touch your toe, and then leg comes up. Right arm comes up, balance. So send the end, your toes are pointed down, send the energy out through the back of your heel. Reach those fingertips forward, thumbs up towards the ceiling. And for balance, probably the best place for your gaze is right at the front of your mat. Come on back to neutral and then sink back into child's pose. Your child's pose might be with your great toes touching or right over your legs. You can use a block if you'd like. Let your head be heavy. So if you'd like to put a block down so your head can rest on the block, you can make a couple of fists and use that as a pillow. Or come right on down to your forehead. Chest and heart are melting down into your mat. Nice deep breaths. Okay, turn your head to the left and rest on the left-hand side of your face. Gently stretch your neck out. Come on back to neutral and then switch. Right hand side of your face. To neutral. If your hands already weren't walked out in front of you, walk your hands out, stretch them way out in front of you for a nice long side body stretch. You can even come up on your fingertips if you'd like for a little bit more. Just feel that all the way down through your armpits, down through your ribs, your hips, your lower back, possibly even into your tops of your thighs. Keep breathing. Okay, come on back to table. Check your hands and your wrists with your shoulders, your knees with your hips. Walk your knees back about 3 inches. Tuck your toes. So don't follow your hips back with your hips with your knees. Go ahead and remain stacked over your shoulders, and your wrists are stacked. Tuck your toes. Your navel comes up towards your lower back. So inhale and then exhale. Exhale and hold on. Inhale. Inhale and lift back to downward dog. Sorry about that. Your first downward dog, you might want to go ahead and put your feet wide on your mat. The outer edges parallel. That way you'll be able to drop your heels down a little bit more. Check your shoulders, make sure they're not up around your ears. If they are, send them down your back. Tail should be lifted towards the back of the room. You can walk that dog out a little bit if you'd like. Pedal those feet back and forth gently. Remember, don't dump all your weight down into your shoulders. Push that man away from you. Send those shoulders down your back and really lift that tail up to the sky, up and back. Okay, come on back down to your knees. Back into child's pose one more time. Couple of breaths here. One more time, come on back up. You should be in a perfect position, up and back for downward dog. Good, beautiful. Let your head hang heavy. Beautiful. So you can pedal those feet back and forth to warm up those thighs or those calves. Stretch them out, good. Okay, wave forward to plank. So in your downward dog, you're waving forward to plank. Okay. Tushy should be up in the air just a little bit. Check your wrists and your shoulders. Make sure they're in line. Hold your plank here. Good, beautiful. Okay, drop your knees. And then chaturanga arms. So you're going to sweep your elbows back by your ribs. And come on down. And either come up to upward cobra, upward dog. Or if that's a little bit too much, you can go ahead and stay down in here in Sphinx. So you decide where you'd like your back bend. If you're in a Sphinx, your forearms are straight out from your elbows, your shoulders to elbows to wrists. So they're parallel to the sides of your mat. If you're in your cobra, you're lined up. Okay. And just breathe. Dog, breathe. And then come on up and back into downward dog. Again, one more time. If you were in a Sphinx position, just go ahead and come up to your hands. Come on back. And slowly walk your hands, or your feet up to your hands. Meet me at the front of your mat. You're going to forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart, so if you want to take your two fists and put them in between your feet, that's generally hip distance apart. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Let your head hang heavy. Grab opposite elbows if you'd like and swing side to side. If you need a block, you can put a block here in front of you and put your hands on. But let your head be heavy. As I've told you before, our heads weigh an average of 12 to 14 pounds. It's like carrying around a giant bowling ball on your neck. So shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. One more time, yes. No. Take a deep bend in your knees and sweep your arms up and overhead slowly. Look up. Hands of prayer. Good. One more time. Sweep your arms up overhead. Swan dive, forward fold, or you can keep your hands at prayer. Nice long back, long neck. Fold in again. Keep breathing. Nice deep inhalations. 4 count for each is a good way to think about it. So in for 3, out for 3, or 4. Okay, I want you to take and walk your fingertips over to the right. So your hips stay forward. It's just your fingertips and torso that are going over to the right. Continue to let your head be heavy. My right knee is bent quite a bit so that I can really get the benefit of that stretch all along my left-hand side. Walk those fingers back to center and then over to the other side. So this time I'm bending my left knee a little bit more and really getting the benefit of that stretch all down my right side. Head still heavy. Breathing. With each breath, seeing if I can't find a little bit more space. Come into that twist a little bit deeper. Okay, come on back to center. One more time, take a nice deep bend in your knees. Slowly rise up. Look up. And start center. Hands sweep up. Swan dive, forward fold. This time plant your left hand either on a block or directly between your feet under your nose. Your right hand is going to sweep up next to your body like you're pulling out a bowstring. And you're going to follow your hand, or gaze with your hand. Or follow your gaze. Your hand. Never mind. Look up at your hand. For a nice twist. Or you can look at the side of the room or continue to look down. That extended arm is reaching up to the ceiling. Pushing away with that arm that's planted on the floor. One nice long line of energy. Okay, come on down. Switch hands. So your right hand goes down either on a block or between your, right under your nose, between your feet. And left arm sweeps along the side of your body and reaches up to the ceiling for a nice twist. Beautiful. Nice deep inhalations. Back down. This time we're going to take a nice deep bend in our knees, sweep your arms up and overhead, and we're coming into a chair. So, you find your chair. Knees are over your toes. Tail's tucked. Might be on a bar stool. A little bit deeper down. If you want to start in a bar stool and let your breath sink you down, that's good. So inhale and exhale, maybe dip down a little bit more. Bring your hands to prayer center. And then I want you to twist over and hook your left elbow over your right thigh. So your hips are facing forward still. Hips are forward. Pressing those hands together. Your gaze can be at your hands or up over that right elbow. Keep coming back to your chair. Keep your prayer hands up. Check your alignment. Tuck that tail. And hook the left over the right elbow over the left thigh. Press those hands together. Back to center and fold forward. Take a deep bend in your knees, sweep those arms up overhead. One more time. Look up. Hands in prayer center. Okay, we're going to go ahead and work on a balanced posture here. So let's root down into our tree. Or root down into our mountain pose. Yeah, thank you. So our feet are squarely planted. All 4 corners of our feet are rooted down. So you want to lift your toes, heels to toes, tails tucked under, Shoulders are back and down. Core is zipped up tight. Let's just take a couple of breaths here. Settle in. Okay, go ahead and root down through your left foot. You can stay on a kickstand if you like. Put your hands on your hips for balance. You can bring your foot, find your balance, find your breath. Bring your foot to your shin. You can bring your foot up to your inner thigh. Don't put your foot on your knee. So it's either here, it's either a kickstand, or it's here, or it's all the way up. Or if you'd like, so I can find my balance here, you go ahead and tuck this foot into the crease, gently, the crease of your left groin, I guess you'd call it right here. And keep your hands on your hips. Find something that's not moving, so don't look at me. Keep your hands on your hips. Hard time today. Or you can keep your hands in prayer. This knee should be tracking out, so if you are in your tree, if you try to push this knee backwards, it'll help with your balance. Find your breath, find your pose. I'm not going to have one today. Extend your arms out for a full tree, arms overhead. Keep them at prayer. This is something good to practice at home too, when you're standing in your kitchen. Your husband or your significant other or kids, grandkids will laugh at you. So, all right, come on back now. Let's try the other side. Different days you'll have better posture on different sides or better balance on different sides. So go ahead and find your root down through your right leg. Hands at prayer, hands on your hips. Find your balance. Breathe. Once you find the sweet spot, it's pretty amazing. It's just getting there. And then you just find your breath and you breathe. If you fall out, go ahead and come back in. Grace. Good. All right, so there's our balance for today. Good job, ladies. All right, sweep your arms up overhead. And the prayer center. Let's go ahead and come to, let's see. Go ahead and step your right foot way back. Come into warrior footing. So your back foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Pelvis is tucked under. Ribs are knit in, so you're not thrusting your ribs out. And then drop down in. So, knees over your ankle. You should be able to see that front toe. Adjust as you need to. You can have heel to heel alignment, or this front heel could be at the arch of your back foot. Play around with it and see, explore, see what's best for you. The blade of your back foot is nice and strong so that your arch is lifted. And then just open your arms. Warrior arms. Gaze should be over those front fingertips. Back arm is strong, shooting to the back of the room. Shoulders are back and down. You can flip your hands, which will open your heart, and then turn them back. Okay, I'm going to come around and check some feet. Take a few breaths here. Beautiful, girls. Beautiful. Press through that back foot. Lovely. Okay, go ahead and straighten that front leg for a moment. Step out of it just for a moment. And sink back down in. Good. Breathe. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. One more time. Come on back out of it just a little bit. Go straight just a little bit. more time. Drop down in. Good. See, wrinkle. Yep. Good. Knee over your ankle. Perfect. Good job. Good. Good. All right, come on out. Let's back up. Okay, let me get. All right. Sorry about that. All right, come on back in, and what I'd like you to do is take your front leg is straight, so you're still on warrior footing, but your front leg is straight, as if someone were pulling your front fingertips, okay? Like this. You're just pulling your front fingertips, and then I just want you to rotate down. This arm, your back arm comes up to the ceiling. This fingertip is coming down to the ground. So if you have a block handy, you know, put a block here. Or you can just put it on your shin. Your gaze can be straight ahead, down at the floor. I'd like you to try to stack your arms as much as possible. So this is a triangle. And breathe. Maybe with each breath, see if you can't drop down a little bit more. You may can come down to your fingertips on the floor, a flat hand, a claw, or on a block. And breathe. So your right hip is tracking back. Your left hip is trying to come forward. Front leg is straight. Beautiful. Okay, both hands come down. You're framing that front foot. Hop on that back foot. Come forward about 10 inches. You can be train track feet, or you can line those feet up like you're on a balance beam. I would suggest maybe more train track feet. Pyramid pose, so you're hanging down over that front foot. Head's heavy. Fingertips are down for balance. So all your toes are facing forward like ones. Again, as I said, if you want to have your feet staggered, like they're on a train track for more balance, or the closer you bring your feet together, the more balance it's going to require. So explore and breathe. You should really feel this all along your left hamstring. Actually all the way from your ankle, probably up all the way to your hamstring into your bottom. Again, let your head be heavy. Pick that back foot up and hop it forward. Take a deep bend in your knees and come on up. Hands up per center. Okay, so we're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. So, left leg comes way back. We're lining that up again. So our foot's parallel to the back of our mat. Tuck that pelvis. Strong ribs, core, shoulders back and down, and then drop down in. So if you need to wiggle those toes forward, adjust those knees. The knee should be over the ankle. Be able to see your front toes, or your big toe rather. If you can't see your big toe, move that knee out, maybe bring it a little bit closer. Maybe you want to start back here a little bit and drop down in. You can always wiggle your toes forward as you drop down in deeper into the pose. Bring the arms out and breathe. So shoulders are back and down. Gaze is over those front fingertips. Back arm is strong towards the back of the room. Here. Go ahead and back out a little bit. Take a little break. Drop back down in. squiggle those toes forward a little bit. Come a little bit deeper into the pose. Press down with the back of that foot so that arch is lifted. Nice strong back leg. Straighten that front foot as if someone were pulling your front hand with a string. So you're reaching a little bit with your front hand, and then drop that front hand down to your shin. Your back arm comes up high to the ceiling. Find your balance, and then drop down if you like. Again, if you have a block, you can put a block here. You can keep your hand on your shin. Your left hip this time is tracking back. You can look at the front of the room, down at your hand, up at your hand. Shoulders are stacking with each breath. See if you can't drop down a little bit farther in. Again, this is a good place to have a block. Foot up a little bit. This time turn your toes in so all your toes are facing forward. Again, if you would like, you can have train tracks, or you can have balance beam feet. Or you can start off in train tracks and move over. Head's heavy. Nice long hamstring stretch through your right leg. To explore a little bit if you want to move that back foot in so that you're more on a balance beam, pyramid pose. Just lightly put your fingertips down. Play with your balance here if you'd like. Go ahead and hop that back foot up. You're going to again forward fold. Go ahead and drop down to your bottom. And find a nice comfortable seated position with your knees bent. If you have a block handy, go ahead and take your block, put it in between your thighs. If you don't have one and would like to get one, I'd be happy to wait a moment or bring you one. What this is going to do is when we go into our bridge, this is going to show you where you need to keep your thighs. A lot of us tend to, in a bridge, splay our knees out. So what the block will do is keep you in the proper alignment. So go ahead, bend your knees. Your heels are about 3 inches away from your tail. You should be able to touch your bottom with your thumb and your heel with your index finger. Put the block in between your thighs, gently squeezing to hold it there. You should be able to take your hand and run it under the small of your back, your fingertips, so you have a nice natural curve in your back. That's your neutral back. Your shoulders are both on the ground in your mat. Your back of your head is pressed against the mat. Chin is lifted. Don't tuck your chin into your chest. Okay, so your chin is lifted. And then what I want you to do is take a nice deep inhalation, and when you exhale, squish a grape underneath your tailbone. So there's a grape underneath or not your tail, but under the small of your back. You're squishing that grape and then lifting your hips up to the ceiling. Arms are down by your sides. A couple of breaths here. So if you don't have a block in between your thighs, imagine there's one there. So don't splay your knees out. And they shouldn't be touching either. There should be about a fist distance apart in between your knees. Okay, go ahead and release. Come on down. Back to neutral spine. One more time. Inhale, squish that great, roll that back, and hips come up towards the ceiling for a bridge. If you'd like a little bit more, you can roll your shoulders underneath your back and clasp your hands and use your triceps to go ahead and lift you up even higher. Just continue to breathe. Hold the posture, not your breath. Okay, go ahead and come on down. And give yourselves a nice big bear hug. So take those knees in towards your chest. You can roll side to side. One more time, plant those legs down. We're going to do a couple more bridges. So check your heels. Check the small of your back. Make sure you've got a little natural curve there. Inhale, exhale, squish that great. Roll those hips up. Breathe. Again, the head should be firmly pressed into the mat so you're not collapsing your chin into your chest. Chin's pointing towards the ceiling. And you're breathing. Okay, come on down. Take a couple of breaths in neutral. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, squish that great. Roll those hips up. Relax that jaw. I find myself clenching my teeth in this posture, so relax your jaw, but don't collapse your chin. Okay, come on down, and give yourselves a nice big bear hug again. Go ahead and take and grab either your big toe or the palm of the soles of your feet for happy baby. You can grab the outsides of your feet if you'd like, whatever works for you. And just breathe here in happy baby. Opening up those hips, the groin, stretching your arms. Nice deep inhalations. Get all that air out on your exhalation. Another added benefit of those deep inhalations and exhalations is as you squeeze all that air out, you'll notice that your abdominals, your transverse abdominals, are getting worked out. So deepen your abdominal muscles. You're giving yourself a core workout just by breathing correctly. Okay, bring the soles of your feet together and drop your feet down to the mat. So you're in a bound, reclining bound angle. So your knees are wide, your heels, your soles of your feet are together, and your heels are coming up toward your groin. And just let your knees fall open. Feel a nice release through your lower back. You can move your heels closer to your groin if you'd like, or keep them out farther, wherever gives you the best release for your groin, your hips, and your lower back. So again, explore, it's your practice. Bring those knees together gently. One more time, give yourself a nice big bear hug. Pull those knees into your chest. Maybe roll side to side. Give yourself a little massage. And go ahead and grab your strap. Keep your left leg bent and put your right foot in your strap. So grab the strap around the ball of your foot. Some of you might be able to reach up and grab your big toe. Otherwise, use your strap for extra length. As you pull those toes towards your nose, you'll feel a nice long hamstring stretch. You can grab the strap with both hands if you'd like, or grab your foot with both hands if you'd like. Stretch out your arms to keep your head firmly planted on the mat. Again, as you breathe, see if you can't breathe into those sticky spots. So nice deep breaths, see if you can't find a little bit more space. Exhale, see if you can't pull those toes a little bit closer to your face. Found myself clenching my teeth, so relax that jaw. But don't collapse your chin into your chest. Back of your head is still firmly planted on your mat. Good. Now you might have to back off a little bit on that stretch. Send that left leg out long on your mat. So your right leg is still in the strap, lifted up towards the ceiling. Now what I want you to do is take your left arm out like a wing for balance. And then you're going to slowly drop that right leg over to the right. Slowly. Keep your left hip planted. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Optimally, your right arm is fully extended, holding onto that strap. Left hip is on the mat. You're pulling the right toes up towards your nose. Gently. And you're breathing. If this is a little bit too much for you, go ahead and bring it back up and keep that left leg bent. Or if you have a block handy, go ahead and bring that leg up and look and see where it might land and put your block down there. Mine just happened to be handy, and my thigh came over and it's resting on that block right now. So by accident, it was a happy accident. And that'll give you a little bit more release if you have a block down there where your foot lands. And you can relax a little bit and just let your leg hang there. Remember to breathe. Breath. See if you can't relax into that stretch a little bit deeper. Maybe reposition on the strap. Come a little bit closer to your foot. Usually when I do that, I reach my left arm over and take part of the strap and then move my right arm up on this arm, right knee grip on the strap and then bring my left back down for balance. Or you can wiggle your fingers up however you want to get there. Okay, that leg comes back up overhead. Use your core to bring it up. Switch hands. So your left hand is going to take your strap. Right arm's coming out like a wing. And then you're going to drop your leg over to the left gently. You can follow it with your right hip. So this time your hip can come on up for a gentle twist. Remember to breathe. Now for me, I've got another happy accident. I got the lip of the stage. My foot is able to rest on the lip of the stage. If your block is handy and you can grab it, if you want to throw it over to that side of the room, you can put your block over there and just drop your foot, your toes so that they rest on that block. Or otherwise, just use your strap to hold that leg. Right arm is out like a wing. You're in a gentle twist. You focus not only all the way up your leg, your calf, behind your knee, your hamstring, and your bottom. It feels all the way up in your hip, maybe in your lower right ribs. As you breathe and twist and soften into the stretch. Good. Okay, go ahead and bring that leg back up slowly. One more time. Bend that left knee and put it on the mat. Bring those right toes towards your nose. So back to where we started from. And go ahead and release that. Go ahead and release that leg down. Draw both your knees back into your chest again. Nice big bear hug. And then put that right foot down on the mat, knees bent, and take your left foot in your strap. Strap is around the ball of the foot. Arms nice and long. You're pulling those toes down towards your nose. You might be able to grab your toes or use the strap. And breathe. Send that right leg out long, so you might have to back out of that stretch a little bit on the left foot. Or not. Your right arm comes out like a wing. And then if you have a block and you want to use the block as a prop, make sure that it's handy where you think your leg might come down to and just place it there. So, slowly exhale that leg down, 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 out to the left. Right buttock and hip are still planted firmly on the mat. And your right arm is out like a wing for balance. Like I said, I like to take and bring my right arm over and grab the bottom of that strap so that I can readjust my left hand and work it up closer to my foot. That's what works for me. You might be able to just squiggle your fingers up on the strap. Or you might have a hold of your toes right now. You don't need to go any further. And breathe. And you might be able to readjust 5 or 6 times during this stretch. As you find more space, you soften into the stretch, you soften into that hamstring. That strap might become loose, so you might have to reach over, get a hold of it, work your way up. Keep that right hip planted. Drawing those toes up towards your nose or your head, your shoulder, and breathing. Gently bring that leg up. Switch hands. So your right hand is going to grab that strap. Your left hand's coming out like a wing. If you use the block as a prop, you might want to throw it on the other side where you think your leg might land. And then slowly drop that left leg over to the right. Again, your left hip's following that leg over for a nice twist. bottom. As you soften even more into this stretch, you might feel it in your lower back, even up in your lower ribs, your right lower left ribs. No pain, just a sensation. And breathe into that sensation. See if you can't soften a little bit more. Release another little muscle or a tendon. As you're breathing and releasing, sometimes you'll be amazed at what you feel release. You didn't even know you had a muscle there. Leg back up, bend your right knee, and plant your right foot on the mat to that original stretch, that original hamstring stretch. Good. Okay, go ahead and release that foot back down to the mat. We're going to go ahead and do one more bridge. So both heels are both feet are flat on the mat. Heels are up close to your bottom, neutral spine, so you should be able to put your fingertips underneath the small of your back. Now pretend like there's a grape there. Inhale, exhale, squish that grape, roll those hips up. Couple breaths here. Again, don't collapse your chin into your chest. Head's firmly on the back of the mat. Okay, go ahead and come on down and then take those knees into your chest. Big bear hug. This time, go ahead, curl your chin, lift your head, curl your chin into your chest. Wrap even tighter into a little ball. Squish in. Good. Okay, go ahead and plant those feet back on the mat. Take your right ankle over your left knee. So just above your right ankle, just below your left knee. Reach through the hole made by the figure 4 and clasp your left thigh just underneath the knee and pull that left leg towards you. If you'd like a little bit more, you can take your right elbow to the interior of your right thigh and push it away. So you're pulling in with your left hand, or you're pulling in with your clasped hands on the back of your left thigh and pushing away with your right elbow. Pulling and pushing. Pulling and pushing. And breathing. Again, your chin is not collapsed into your chest. It's pointed towards the ceiling. As you're breathing, you're trying to find a little bit more softness in that right hip. Into that belly and exhaling all that air out, all that stale air. You drop that left foot down to the mat. Nothing changes in your right leg, still crossed over. Arms come out wide like a T. Take a nice deep breath, and as you exhale, drop those legs over to the left. Your right foot is going to hit that floor first. After it hits the floor, go ahead and just relax those knees. Just drop them. Let gravity pull everything over to the left-hand side. This should feel really, really good. You don't have to do anything here except breathe and let gravity pull those legs over and bring a nice twist out through your abdomen. Each exhale, you should be able to feel those knees get even heavier if that's possible, and drop even further into the mat. Walk those legs back up to center. Uncross your legs and switch. So this time your left ankle, you might have to readjust your back a little bit. Left ankle comes over your right knee, just above your left ankle, just below your right knee. Reach through that hole, take a bind behind your right leg, and pull that leg in towards you. Again, if you'd like, you can push against that left thigh with your left elbow, so you're pushing and pulling. And breathing. The more you push with your left elbow, the more opening you'll feel in that left hip. This is a great stretch for anyone that suffers with sciatica problems. Gets deep into where that sciatic nerve is. It's called reclined figure 4, reclined pigeon. Okay, go ahead and release that right foot to the floor. So your left leg is still crossed over. Arms come out wide in a T. Take a nice deep breath, and on your exhale, slowly drop those knees over to the right. Your left foot's going to hit the mat or the floor, and then just let those knees drop. So let everything fall over to the right. Again, as you breathe, you're taking a nice deep inhalation, so you're filling that belly up. And when you exhale, those knees will get even heavier as you force that air out. Hopefully you're finding muscles that you didn't even know you had are able to release. As you get rid of all that air on your exhale. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring those legs back up to center. Send them out long. Let your feet fall open where they may. For our final resting posture. Actually, take that back. Let's go ahead and do our stretch. Go ahead and flex your feet so your heels are nice strong heels on the floor. Your feet are flexed. Arms up overhead. Reach long with those fingertips. I want you to inhale. And as you exhale, stretch everything as hard as you can to opposite sides of the room. So stretch, 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 stretch. Everything in your body stretching. And release. One more time. Nice deep inhale. Exhale. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Shoot those fingertips out towards the other end of the room. The heels, your stomach, everything in your face is all squinched up. Release. Okay. Now, let those feet fall open wherever they may. Hands fall open at your sides. Palms are up towards the ceiling. Open hands, receiving God's blessing, His goodness, His grace, His mercy. Letting the benefits of your practice, your intention of spending an hour with Him, flood over you. inside. This is really important. In a fetal position, cradle your arm with your head, or your head into your arm rather, the crook of your elbow. This will reset your spine. Rest here for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, use your left arm in front of your ribs to push yourself up into a seated position. And go ahead and meet me here again at the front of your mat. If you begin with your feet crossed, go ahead and switch up and place your other foot in front. Just your sits bones. Nice tall spine. Take a couple nice deep inhalations here. And go ahead and put your hands on your belly. See if you remember that breath. So feel that belly. One more time. Hands at heart center. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me in your practice today. May you go today in the peace, the power, and the presence of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. And one other thing, too, if you could all please keep Lily. If you don't know Lily, Dr. Lily is our wonderful member of our community here, and her mother that she's been taking care of passed away last night. And so Lily and her daughter Valerie are with each other, comforting each other this morning.